Okay, back on. Still installing. Let's see if that'll... what it'll do. Because the thing was, I couldn't control my fans with any third-party free, open source system, because apparently the HP OMEN laptops use their own proprietary API or something, but none of the hardware, um, none of the programs could touch the fan hardware to tell me how fast they were spinning, to make them spin at a certain speed, tell me what the temperature is. It could do almost nothing. You have to have the OMEN Gaming Hub, which I uninstalled because it kept forcing my Windows to reboot. Also, I should note that I've also got the this thing running at the same time, which is causing the uh, CPU to be used because of doing the prime numbers. I also am going to probably run this one under a torture test um, to see what the fans and the cooling can do before I put in the better thermal paste. One of the reasons I'm redoing the thermal paste is because I had to fix the fan that got bent, the fan housing, whatever. Anyway, to fix that, I needed to pop off the fans, which means that the thermal paste got exposed again, and then I simply smooshed it back on, which left air bubbles, which means it doesn't work as well as it did before I took the heatsink off and did that. Come on. Oh, that's frozen up. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. I remember it had been getting up to, on average, when I was running it, 90 degrees Celsius, which must be like 200 degrees Fahrenheit or some shit like that. Why can't I do both? It was always red. It was just always red. If the condition persists, it was critical, which means that I am shortening the life of my laptop every time I let it get up into the critical. So yeah. Matter of fact, why don't I stop this? Damn, look at that CPU. I've recently restarted Windows, so I don't have my full setup going here. Let's do that. Oh, it's the OMEN Gaming Hub using it. Interesting. Alright, so overview, CPU, memory, disk, and network. Alright, so now I have them all as separate windows, which is what I usually do, but every time I have to restart my computer, which I fucking hate doing, I have to put these back up again. Okay. Damn, why is that still... Oh, no, that's this one. Ah, okay. At least gives me the option. Okay, so let me reboot the PC then. Then I'll run my benchmark tests. Then I'll shut everything down, crack it open in the living room, put on the liquid metal thermal paste, and then start it back up, do another recording. The excuse me. The trouble with the liquid metal thermal paste is that unlike the white creams, the little sticky pastes, unlike them, the thermal paste is conductive. So if any of it accidentally drips, because it's a liquid, it is an actual liquid, not a paste. It's not sticky. It's not like toothpaste. Unlike those things, the liquid metal, if it drips onto the circuit board, that costs me $2,000. I have to buy a new computer because it is conductive. It conducts electricity. The other thermal pastes are insulators. They don't conduct electricity, so you can smush it around, however you want, and it's not going to short circuit anything. So I'm nervous about doing this. I've never installed liquid metal. I'm going to follow the directions exactly like they say. Super thin coating of it using the special Q-tips uh, applicators, and doing everything just like it says for this guy right here. Liquid metal thermal compound, um, extremely high thermal conductivity. The Where's the full specs? Specifications. Where's the specs? Oh, come on. I know it's there. It's not a silicon grease. Oh, come on. Maybe it was over here. Thermal interface. That's what it's called. So you have the paste, and then you have the liquid metal. So just as an example, oh shit, no, this is just a regular Amazon thing. It's not listing the thermal displacement in watts per square centimeter. Oh, no. No, it's not the store. It's one actually one is their real website. Oh, come on. All right, I'll just have to do the test. There it is. So I went with the liquid metal because it's like 5 times the per performance of where is it? You know what? Here. Is the MX6. Where's the Conductonaut? Ultimate Performance Thermal Paste. Maybe that's. That's not. Okay, it's definitely not that stuff. Where's the Conductonaut? It was Grizzly. That's why. Bingo. Yeah, boom. Wattage. Which is actually the thermal displacement, whatever. Yeah, the website will have it better. Really? Save. Open. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Not the density, not the operating temperature. Oh, come on. I know it actually lists the specifications here somewhere. Density, application, operating temperature, thickness, electroconductivity, yes. Why aren't they listing the actual, scientific data? This is a long video now. What am I up to? 11 minutes. Okay, well, this was what's already been included. That's the paste. This is the liquid metal. It's actually a liquid. It's a little drop of liquid. All right, let me try back over here. $473 watts. No, the MX6. That was the other one that I had. So I have one of these thermal pastes for my actual CPU and GPU, and then I have one of them for just a little memory components, the little not memory components, the little individual transistors, like power changing transistors that also get hot. So anyway, they had a little drop of this stuff, the actual paste, not the liquid metal, but the grease. It had those had a drop of junk on them to interface with the this thing. The most important thing with the liquid metal, though, is that you cannot put it on aluminum because the gallium or mercury, which one is it? It's one of them. Anyway, one of the galliums or mercuries would, what the hell is this? The gallium or the mercury within the liquid metal would infiltrate into the heat sink itself if it's aluminum, and it will just utterly destroy it. And again, you have to buy a new $2,000 laptop. All right, so this, it has it's thermal displacement, I think is what they call it. No. So maybe it's TWD, total wattage displaced. All right, one of these is going to tell me, but they give the wattage thing. Okay, I still can't find it. Anyway, the point is, so that says wattage. I think that's the number of watts per square inch or something like that that it will output. So if you've got say 300 watts running through a chip or a package, I guess they call it. So if you've got your graphics processor or your central processor, if you've got 300 watts going through it, then you need to have a cooling system that can displace, as in take that heat away and put it into the air. It needs to be able to displace that number of watts in order to keep it cool. Otherwise, essentially, you're just running a really expensive space heater. And if it gets too hot, then the chip itself is fine, but it's the little solid gold wires that connect to the die itself that was, you know, from the silicon wafer. It connects that die to the little pins on the outside of the chip. So if you buy a chip, they give you a box, you open it up, and you stick it onto your motherboard. It's got little prongs on it, or you know, they used to be prongs that slip into the slot. Each of those prongs connects to that chip that was done with the UV imaging and the etching and the vapor disposition. You know, that the chip itself needs to be somehow connected to the outside world. That's done with super hair thin, like spiderweb thin strands of solid gold wire. And while the chip itself can get up to like, you know, above the boiling point of water and there's no problem, those wires, each time that happens, they expand. When the load is removed, there's less watts running through the chip because your computer is not, you know, running that program. When the wattage goes down, the wires cool and they shrink. So they expand and they shrink and they expand and they shrink and they expand and they shrink, and that causes wear, and eventually the wires break and your computer's done. So if you have the thermal compound, it takes away the heat. It never gets hot. The wires don't expand. They don't contract. The temperature stays the same always because it's taking that heat and putting it into the air of your room. I guess that's more like an actual space heater. And you want that to happen. You want it to be taken away and put into the regular air temperature so that the chip itself doesn't wear out. Not the chip, but the wires that connect the chip don't wear out. So anyway, liquid metal takes 73 watts. The paste, where's the watts? It doesn't list. It's supposed to list the watts, the wattage. Maybe this will have it. There it is. Thermal conductivity. It's watts per square meter? No way. Millimeter. All right, so that's 12.5 watts. The Conductonaut. It doesn't list it. That's 73 watts. It was something like 15 versus 73. Okay, yeah, that's 12 watts. Watts per meter Kelvin? Millimeter Kelvin? Let's look that up. Anyway, that's 12.5. The Conductonaut is 73. That's a huge difference. And I'm going to be running these things with as much electricity as I physically can, as I'm capable of doing. Okay. New tab, paste and search. Watts per meter thickness? Watts per meter Kelvin. Thermal conductance Thermal resistance, heat transfer, that's what it is. Measured in watts per Kelvin square meter. For plate thermal conductivity, area, and thickness, the conductance would be of thermal conductivity K, measured thermal conductivity. Yeah, there it is, watts per meter Kelvin. So copper is really, really good. Diamond's the best. Copper's really, really good. So the thermal conductive stuff, so if that's 300 watts, the thermal conductive is the 73 watts, so not nearly as good as copper, which is what the heat pipes themselves are made out of. It's not as conductive as the copper itself, but it does still help transfer the energy over. So that's 73 watts. Copper is we'll call it 400. Copper's 400. The Conductonaut is 73. And the other paste that I have, the Thermal Grizzly, is 12. So, that's all right. And of course, nothing is 0. And that's really bad. You have to have something there, some kind of interface there, some kind of thermal paste, thermal grease. So I have this stuff, not as good for the little memory chips, whatever those other chips are that are also connected to the heat pipe. I've got the Thermal Grizzly for the CPU and the GPU, we'll see how it does. What's this heat spreader thing? Where did I see that? What is that for? How does it work? Oh, see, I don't have... This is already built into the laptop, so I can't use it that way. I think the other option... Yeah, no, I can't. I can't use that. I don't have the individual chip. It's already directly soldered to the board, so that's of no use to me. So anyway, I want this OMEN gaming hub so that I can check the vitals. I know I was regularly getting up to 85 to 90 degrees Celsius, which is way the fuck too hot. It should never get above like 70, I think. Even this is high. Because that's actually, 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Like if I touched that chip, I would burn my skin. That's the temperature on the chip itself. So the wires connecting that chip to the package as a whole, those little gold wires, those are probably somewhere similar to this temperature. I wish I could actually know what the heat pipe itself was doing. All right, so let me go ahead and reboot the computer, which means I got to end this video at 25 minutes. I'll reboot it, do another video with the actual test, and see how it goes. So to make sure I get all of my tabs opened up again properly, end task. Boop. And where's my work? All right, there's my tag 1, Google Chrome. Close that out. Action I'm still using. Still trying to get my built-in laptop speakers to work. But, yeah, Intel high definition audio is not working. It worked in Windows 11 when I had this computer brand new. It came with Windows 11, but I said, fuck that, I don't like Windows 11. Put Windows 10 on, and the speakers never worked again. But that's another project for another day. Let me see what this does. So I will click that button as soon as I turn off this video. Is there anything else I need to shut down? I'll go ahead and manually shut this down. And by the way, I might uninstall this OMEN Gaming Hub again as soon as I get it installed. Once I make sure the thermal grease is working, I don't even care anymore. And it's just annoying that it keeps rebooting my PC. I don't like that. Yeah, none of those important updates are actually to do with my audio issue. It's just Windows wanting to update itself, which I haven't done since 2022. Check with that later. Yes, I'm gonna quit. That I wonder if that's part of the problem too. Device manager. No. Until high definition audio. Close. Close. Yeah, and that's the difference. So I bought both. Thermal Grizzly is the company. I bought their Conductonaut and I also bought their thermal paste. That's sort of the difference, and that's why it works. Application temperature, that's the temperature of the room that I am doing the operation in. That's the temperature it'll actually work. The Conductonaut at extreme, but because it is such a thin, I'm going to have to be really, it's going to be hard to get it on thin. I love making sure, I'm OCD, I love making sure I've got plenty. Plenty is the word that I use in my own brain. I like to make sure I have plenty of thermal paste on, but that actually makes it work worse. Even more so for the liquid metal. So it should just be so thin it just looks like a mirror finish, and that's all it did. So yeah, that is actually, it's already on a sheet of paper that came with the physical product. Turn that off. That's for the thermal paste. I'm going to try that little thing on it. Oh, what about my video? Do I still have that old video? Where's that? No. No. Okay, it's on the other hard drive that I haven't hooked back up since I got back from Florida last weekend. Anyway, I've got a picture somewhere of what it looks like. What the board. Actually, you know what? Here, let me look that up real quick. I don't want to open back up. There it is. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that looks similar. I want pictures of it though with the fan assembly removed. Oh, how do I visit the web page itself? What's this one called again? What is... (17KC1). 17KC1. Or CK1.
Alright, today we will be disassembling an HP OMEN 17
not
gaming
what mine
laptop.
Okay, here we
Take
go.
your fingernails against the little tabs, pull up.
Except my heat pipes are built into the fans.
Want to lift from the side, slightly wiggle it, and make sure that there's no other fasteners holding it down. You never.
Okay, no, this isn't it.
And we'll go ahead.
That's not it. Yeah, that's closer to what mine looks like, because it's all one piece. So, the main CPU, get a bigger image of that. Okay, here we go. All right. All right, so this is what my laptop looks like inside. I think this might be the exact model. Yeah, it's got those two things. That's the RAM. Got 64 gigabytes. It's two cards. That's the one of the solid state drives. That's the other solid state drive. These are my fans. No, it's the, because this is looking at it from the bottom. So the one on the left-hand side of my laptop, when it's upright and working, the fan that's bent is this cowling, and it's right here that the edge is bent. The CPU, GPU that I will be using the liquid metal on are here and here. One of them's, I can't remember which is which, but one of them's the graphics and one of them is the CPU. They are underneath these two, which is where the main heat pipes go. So you can see it's got 3 heat pipes that that the fans blow air across. Those are the fins, and it's all one piece. When I undo all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, when I undo all the screws and take it off, this is all a single solid piece. These fans, the big heat pipes, the plates, the fins, they're all a single solid chunk, a piece. They're all welded together. You can see the fins right through here, the little jagged part. Those little lines that are underneath the heat pipe. The heat. Why can't I go side to side? Okay. The heat pipes themselves, those things, they all come out. Those are the fins that the fan blows the air through. So the fins are welded to the heat pipes. The heat pipes are solid copper. The heat pipe solid copper goes to the plate itself. You can't see the underside, but the underside, these plates with the little diagonal lines, those are the solid copper plates connected to the solid copper heat pipes, connected to the fins. The fans blow the air through the fins, and all that goes through, and none of it means anything. It doesn't mean shit unless you've got the thermal paste on there. In my case, I'm doing liquid metal on these two, and then here, that is the other set of chips that also have the stuff on them. So these, I'm going to do the cheaper, non-conductive white paste onto this set of chips, or I think they actually are transistors, just very large transistors over here. And then there's another set of transistors right here that also get some thermal paste, the regular thermal paste, not the liquid metal. And then the CPU and GPU are underneath those 3 bands. Oh, wait, no, I got it backwards. Now I remember. Yeah, that's the CPU here on the right. On the left is the GPU. Above the GPU is one set of chips. Below the GPU is the other set of chips. So I'll be doing regular thermal paste on these chips, regular thermal paste on these chips, liquid metal on the GPU, which has 3 heat pipes across it, and then liquid metal on the CPU, which has the 2 heat pipes going across it. The GPU takes more power than the CPU does, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I have it backwards, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. But this is what my laptop looks like. I'll undo all these screws, take everything apart, put on the thing, put it back together, and hope that I did not just make a $2,000 paperweight by dripping liquid metal where it's not supposed to be. But yeah, that's the plan. That's what I'm going to aim to do. I have a video that I took with my phone of me actually trying to fix that fan cowling, which is why I ripped it off, fixed the fan cowling, and stuck it back in place. But when I stuck it back in place, now there are air bubbles there, and now it gets even hotter than it did, I think. But I can't remember what my actual numbers used to be exactly. But I know that they regularly hit 90 degrees, 95 degrees Celsius, which is way too hot. Matter of fact, what is too hot? Let's look that up again. "85 degrees Celsius is too hot and it is unsafe." And it was regularly hitting that or 90 degrees. I like Quora. What? Why the fuck would that show up? Indifferent. If it's going to run for hours, anything above 70 degrees Celsius will make me worried, as it will shorten the lifespan. And I've been running for over a year now at... okay, this isn't showing it. But anyway, really high. Matter of fact, let's run that real quick right now anyway. Torture test. Blend of all of the above. Oh, there we go. Okay. Using them on RAM too. Okay, 68, 69, 70, 72, 73, 74, 75. Anything above 70 degrees will make me worried. If it's just a short temperature test, 85 can be tolerated. Alright, well, look what we're doing. 81, 82, 84, 85. The fan's kicking on. 86, 88. Yeah, and then when I had my games running, that made it even worse. Let me try that out now, too. Test. Stop. Stop. Fine. Temperature drop back down. Damn. Stop. Whew, okay, there we go. Now it's dropping back. So yeah, it gets too hot. The better test. Let me try out this guy. I'm gonna switch it from full screen. I'm still recording, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Play. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. All right. Let's move that. Oh, there it is. There we go. Degrees. $4 All right, let's run the benchmark. GPU is going up again. There it is. That CPU is still way too hot. Way too hot. And that's not even the one that's at 100% utilization. That's the GPU. Oh, okay, GPU is good. All right, that's that one. Let me do one more, see if I can get that temperatures up. There. Over here. Alt G is the binding. Alt G. Okay. Alt G. All right, let's try this again. Makes the screen flicker. My monitor flickers. I don't know if that's because of the HDMI cable or if that's because of the monitor itself. Six degrees, 87 degrees, 88 degrees, 90, 91. I don't know why that thing is orange and not, why that temperature reading is still green. Maybe the OMEN gaming laptops are actually built to have higher temperature chips in them. All right, get my mouse back. Okay. So yeah, I don't know why. Critical GPU temperature. So I don't know why the hell it's still green at 90 something degrees. It used to be red. I think something's broken. It needs to be updated because that's the other thing. The OMEN Gaming Hub is sloppy ass development. Remember, it used to be was always red. All right, let me do one more thing. Let me try Destiny. See what that does. I'll make it windowed instead of full screen. I haven't played this since vacation. But I played it a lot on vacation. Alright, come on, let me get to the settings. I hate that you can't do the settings from the main menu. Like here, I can't mess with the settings. So pick one. Let's log in. Options. Settings. Video. Window. Apply. Confirm. No, it's up too high though. Okay, let's do this then. Okay, why can't I move the window? I need to move that window. Come on. Click on the window, Alt space bar, M. Snap a window. Windows left, Windows right. See if that'll work. Sort of. I guess it's not a normal window. What are we at? About 80. This isn't using my GPU nearly as much. Interesting. Looks better. See, and it always screws up this thing. Let me resize the window. There's also a delay between moving my mouse and having it actually move somewhere else. Doesn't use that much RAM. Yep. Oh. Five frames per second. Oh, my monitor is starting to flicker. 100%, 71 degrees. Now, here we go. All right. Why is the temperature going up? Okay, come on. I know my fan's running full tilt, and I think once I replace this with the liquid metal and replace it with the oh, I know it.
Osaka investigation eliminates a terror cell in Rio de Janeiro, ending a string of attacks and executing those responsible.
There we go. I don't need the sound. The fans, my CPU fans run at full tilt. I want to see if I can burn my fingers feeling that air. Oh yeah, it's coming out like a hair dryer. So it's actually, I guess the paste is working all right. But I think that if I replace, well, we'll see. But I think that if I replace the thermal paste on the CPU and GPU with liquid metal, assuming I don't turn my laptop into a paperweight, then I think that this solid use, I might be able to drop it back down to like, 60 degrees Celsius. I wonder why the temperature isn't rising like it was just a few, like within this same video recording that I'm doing right now. The earlier, maybe at like 40 minutes or whatever, the CPU was getting up to 90 degrees Celsius. Now that I'm running it at 100% utilization, not so much.